Have you ever wondered why, despite eating well, exercising regularly, and doing everything the doctors tell you to do, your legs still feel weaker than they used to? Why does climbing those same stairs you've been using for years suddenly feel like conquering Mount Everest? Why does getting up from your favorite chair now require a little extra effort, maybe even a small grunt that you never made before? Why do your knees creak like old wooden floors? And why do your ankles feel stiff when you wake up in the morning? If you're nodding your head right now thinking, that sounds exactly like me, then what I'm about to reveal might shock you to your core. You see, most people over 60 assume these changes are simply the inevitable consequence of aging. They've been told by well-meaning friends, family members, and even some healthcare providers that joint pain, muscle weakness, and mobility issues are just part of getting older. But here's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. What if I told you that the very foods you've been eating religiously, believing they're the healthiest choices you could make, are actually the silent culprits behind your weakening legs? What if the morning fruit salad you pride yourself on eating every single day is slowly but surely undermining your mobility, balance, and independence? What if those sweet, colorful, vitamin-packed fruits that you've been told are nature's candy are actually nature's slow-acting poison for your aging joints and muscles? The reality is both surprising and deeply concerning. While fruits are indeed packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that can benefit your health in countless ways, there's a dark side to fruit consumption that becomes particularly dangerous as we age, especially for those over 60. Your body isn't the same as it was when you were 30, 40, or even 50 years old. Your metabolism has slowed down significantly. Your blood sugar regulation isn't as efficient as it once was. Your circulation has naturally decreased, making it harder for nutrients to reach your extremities. Your joints have accumulated decades of wear and tear. Your digestive system has become more sensitive to certain compounds. And most importantly, your body's ability to process and eliminate certain natural toxins and inflammatory compounds has diminished considerably. This means that fruits that were once harmless, even beneficial, can now become subtle enemies of your leg strength and mobility. They can contribute to inflammation that settles deep in your joints. They can cause blood sugar spikes that damage the tiny blood vessels feeding your leg muscles. They can introduce acids that irritate already sensitive joint tissues. They can trigger fluid retention that makes your legs feel heavy and uncomfortable. And they can even interfere with the absorption of nutrients that are crucial for maintaining muscle mass and bone density. The most insidious part about this hidden danger is that the damage happens so gradually, so subtly, that you might not even notice it's happening until one day you realize you can't walk as far as you used to, or you need to hold onto the railing when going upstairs, or your legs feel like they're carrying invisible weights. By then, months or even years of cumulative damage may have already occurred. But here's what makes this situation even more frustrating. You're probably consuming these problematic fruits with the best of intentions. You're trying to be healthy. You're following conventional wisdom about eating plenty of fruits and vegetables. You might even be following specific dietary advice from healthcare providers who haven't fully considered how aging changes your body's response to certain foods. You're doing what you think is right, but unknowingly, you might be contributing to your own physical decline. Today, I'm going to expose the 7 most dangerous fruits that seniors should avoid or consume with extreme caution. These aren't exotic, hard-to-find fruits that you've never heard of. These are common, everyday fruits that you probably have in your kitchen right now. Fruits that are sold in every grocery store, featured in every healthy eating guide, and recommended by nutritionists who haven't fully considered their impact on aging bodies. Before we dive into this crucial information, I want you to know that I'm not here to scare you or take away all the foods you enjoy. I'm here to empower you with knowledge so you can make informed decisions about your health. I'm here to help you understand why your legs might be feeling weaker despite your best efforts. And more importantly, I'm going to give you practical alternatives that can actually strengthen your legs and improve your mobility. If you're concerned about your health and want to maintain your independence and mobility for years to come, I need you to stay with me until the very end of this video. The information I'm about to share could be the missing piece of the puzzle that explains why you've been struggling with leg weakness, joint pain, or decreased mobility. It could be the key to reversing some of the damage that's already been done and preventing further deterioration. But before we jump into the shocking truth about these 7 dangerous fruits, I want to know that you're with me on this journey. If you're ready to learn something that could change your life, type 1 in the comments below. If you're skeptical or not ready to hear this information, type 0. Your engagement tells me that this message is reaching the right people, people who are serious about their health and willing to make changes to improve their quality of life. Also, if you value your health and want to stay informed about the latest discoveries in senior wellness, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. We consistently share information that mainstream health advice often overlooks, and I don't want you to miss out on content that could significantly impact your well-being. Now let's begin with the first fruit on our list, and I guarantee this one will surprise you. It's a fruit that's been praised for its anti-inflammatory properties, promoted as a digestive aid, and celebrated for its vitamin C content. Yet for seniors, it might be doing more harm than good. Let's start with pineapple, that golden tropical fruit that seems to embody health and vitality. For decades, pineapple has been hailed as a superfood, particularly because it contains bromelain, an enzyme that's supposed to reduce inflammation. Health enthusiasts rave about its ability to aid digestion, boost immune function, and fight inflammatory conditions. But here's what they don't tell you about pineapple, especially if you're over 60. Despite its reputation as an anti-inflammatory powerhouse, pineapple can actually trigger inflammation in aging bodies, particularly in the delicate tissues of your legs, knees, and ankles. The problem lies in pineapple's incredibly high natural sugar content and its powerful acidity. When you eat pineapple, you're essentially flooding your bloodstream with a concentrated burst of fructose and glucose, along with citric acid and malic acid. Now, if you were 25 years old with a robust metabolism and efficient insulin response, your body might handle this sugar surge without much trouble. But as we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing these rapid spikes in blood sugar. Your pancreas has to work harder to produce insulin. Your cells become more resistant to insulin's effects, and most critically, the tiny blood vessels that supply your legs and feet, the very vessels that need to remain healthy and flexible to maintain good circulation, become damaged by these repeated sugar assaults. Think of it this way. Imagine your blood vessels are like garden hoses. When you're young, they're flexible and resilient, but as you age, they naturally become a bit stiffer and more fragile. Now, when you consume pineapple, it's like suddenly cranking up the water pressure and adding corrosive chemicals to the water. Those already fragile hoses start to develop small cracks and weak spots. Over time, the water flow becomes restricted, and some areas don't get adequate irrigation at all. In your body, this translates to poor circulation in your legs. Your muscles don't receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to function optimally. Your joints don't get the lubrication and nourishment required to move smoothly. Waste products and inflammatory compounds start to accumulate in your tissues because they can't be efficiently carried away by your compromised circulation. The result? That heavy, tired feeling in your legs after minimal activity, the dull ache that settles in your calves after a short walk, the stiffness in your knees that makes you hesitate before standing up, the swelling around your ankles that seems to get worse as the day progresses. These symptoms might seem like normal aging, but they could actually be the direct result of the pineapple you're eating several times a week, thinking you're doing something good for your health. But the problems with pineapple don't stop at blood sugar and circulation. That powerful acidity I mentioned earlier can also wreak havoc on your joints, especially if you already have any underlying inflammatory conditions like arthritis or joint degeneration. The citric acid in pineapple can irritate sensitive joint tissues, essentially pouring fuel on an already smoldering fire of inflammation. Many seniors report that they feel more joint pain and stiffness the day after eating pineapple, but they rarely make the connection between their dietary choices and their physical discomfort. They might blame the weather, their activity level, or just chalk it up to getting older, never realizing that their healthy snack choice might be contributing to their pain. There's also the issue of bromelain itself. While this enzyme is indeed anti-inflammatory in controlled laboratory conditions in your body, especially if you're taking any medications, it can cause unexpected interactions. Bromelain can enhance the effects of blood thinners, making them either too strong or too weak. It can interfere with certain antibiotics and pain medications. For seniors who are often on multiple medications, this can create a dangerous situation where they're unknowingly compromising their treatment effectiveness. Next on our list is a fruit that might surprise you even more than pineapple: bananas. Yes, those convenient, affordable, potassium-rich fruits that athletes swear by and that every nutrition guide recommends for muscle health. Bananas have been marketed as the perfect food for preventing muscle cramps, supporting heart health, and providing sustained energy. But for seniors, particularly those over 60, bananas might be doing more harm than good. The primary issue with bananas lies in their extremely high carbohydrate content and their impact on blood sugar levels. A single medium banana contains approximately 27 grams of carbohydrates, most of which are simple sugars that are rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream. For aging bodies that already struggle with insulin sensitivity and blood sugar regulation, this represents a significant metabolic challenge. When you eat a banana, especially on an empty stomach or as a standalone snack, your blood sugar levels spike rapidly. This triggers a massive release of insulin from your pancreas, which then works to drive that sugar into your cells. However, if your cells are already insulin resistant, which is common in people over 60, much of that sugar gets converted to fat and stored in your body, while your muscles actually receive less energy than they need. This creates a paradoxical situation where you're eating a food that's supposed to energize your muscles, but you're actually depriving them of sustained energy while promoting fat storage. Over time, this can lead to increased abdominal weight, which puts additional stress on your legs and joints while simultaneously weakening your muscle function. But the problems with bananas go even deeper than blood sugar issues. Bananas are also surprisingly high in compounds that can promote fluid retention, especially in people with underlying cardiovascular issues or kidney problems, conditions that become more common as we age. The combination of high potassium and natural sugars can disrupt your body's delicate fluid balance, leading to swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet. Many seniors notice that their legs feel heavier and more uncomfortable after eating bananas, but they assume it's just a coincidence. They might attribute it to sitting too long, changes in weather, or increased activity levels. In reality, their banana consumption might be contributing to the fluid retention that makes walking feel more difficult and causes that tight, uncomfortable feeling in their lower extremities. There's also the digestive aspect to consider. As we age, our digestive system becomes less efficient at processing certain compounds. Bananas contain high levels of resistant starch, especially when they're not fully ripe, which can be difficult for aging digestive systems to break down. This can lead to fermentation in your gut, producing gas and inflammatory compounds that can contribute to systemic inflammation throughout your body, including in your joints and muscles. Moving on to our third dangerous fruit, grapes. These small, sweet, seemingly innocent fruits are often considered the perfect healthy snack. They're easy to eat, packed with antioxidants, and have been associated with heart health benefits due to their resveratrol content. However, for seniors, grapes can be particularly problematic due to their high concentration of fructose and their potential to trigger inflammatory responses. The main issue with grapes is their incredibly high fructose content. Unlike glucose, which can be processed by every cell in your body, fructose can only be metabolized by your liver. When you eat a handful of grapes, which is incredibly easy to do because they're small and don't make you feel full, you're essentially overwhelming your liver with a concentrated dose of fructose that it has to process immediately. Your liver, especially as it ages, becomes less efficient at handling these fructose loads. When it can't process all the fructose at once, it converts the excess into fat and uric acid. That uric acid then circulates through your bloodstream and can crystallize in your joints, particularly in your feet, ankles, and knees. This is the same process that causes gout, but even at subclinical levels, it can contribute to joint pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Many seniors experience mysterious joint pain that seems to come and go without any apparent cause. They might wake up with stiff, achy knees or feel a burning sensation in their feet, especially their big toes. They might notice that their ankles feel tight and uncomfortable, or that their legs feel heavy and sluggish. These symptoms might be directly related to their grape consumption, but because the connection isn't immediately obvious, they never make the link. The problem is compounded by the fact that grapes are incredibly easy to overeat. They're small, they don't require any preparation, and they have a pleasant, sweet taste that doesn't trigger strong satiety signals. You might sit down with a small bowl of grapes and absent-mindedly eat 2 or 3 cups worth while watching television or reading. Each grape might seem insignificant, but collectively you've just consumed a massive dose of fructose that your aging liver and joints will struggle to handle. Watermelon, our 4th dangerous fruit, presents a particularly deceptive threat to senior health. This refreshing, water-packed fruit is often recommended as a healthy way to stay hydrated, especially during hot summer months. Its high water content and sweet taste make it seem like the perfect low-calorie snack. However, watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes of any fruit, meaning it causes rapid and dramatic spikes in blood sugar levels. When you eat watermelon, the natural sugars are absorbed so quickly that they can cause your blood glucose to rise faster than if you had eaten pure sugar. For seniors whose bodies already struggle with glucose regulation, this represents a significant metabolic stress. The rapid spike in blood sugar triggers an equally rapid release of insulin, followed by a dramatic crash that can leave you feeling weak, tired, and craving more sugar. This roller coaster effect is particularly harmful to the small blood vessels in your legs and feet. Each spike in blood sugar causes inflammation in your vascular system, while each crash reduces the energy available to your muscles. Over time, this repeated stress can lead to decreased circulation, muscle weakness, and increased risk of blood clots in your lower extremities. Many seniors report feeling unusually tired and weak in their legs after eating watermelon, but they often attribute this to the heat or to being too active. In reality, their bodies are struggling to cope with the metabolic chaos that watermelon consumption has created. Oranges, our 5th dangerous fruit, represent a particularly insidious threat because they're so universally recommended for their vitamin C content. From breakfast juices to immune-boosting supplements, oranges are positioned as essential for healthy aging. However, the high acid content in oranges can be particularly problematic for seniors with sensitive joints and digestive systems. The citric acid in oranges can irritate joint tissues, especially in people who already have inflammatory conditions like arthritis or joint degeneration. This acid can also interfere with the absorption of important minerals like calcium and magnesium, which are crucial for maintaining bone density and muscle function. When combined with the natural sugars in oranges, this acidity can create an inflammatory environment in your body that particularly affects your legs and joints. Regular consumption of oranges and orange juice can contribute to morning stiffness, increased joint pain, and decreased mobility. Many seniors notice that their arthritis symptoms are worse on days when they've consumed citrus fruits, but they rarely make the connection between their dietary choices and their physical discomfort. Green apples, our sixth dangerous fruit, are often considered the healthy choice compared to their sweeter red counterparts. Their lower sugar content and tart flavor make them seem like the perfect snack for health-conscious seniors. However, green apples are loaded with malic acid, which can be particularly problematic for aging digestive systems and sensitive joints. The malic acid in green apples can irritate the lining of your stomach and intestines, leading to increased permeability and inflammation. This inflammation doesn't stay localized to your digestive system. It can spread throughout your body via your bloodstream, settling in your joints and muscles. Many seniors experience increased joint pain, muscle stiffness, and leg weakness after regularly consuming green apples, but they rarely connect these symptoms to their fruit consumption. Finally, we come to mangoes, perhaps the most dangerous fruit on our list for seniors. These tropical fruits are incredibly high in natural sugars and can cause massive spikes in blood glucose levels. A single mango contains approximately 60 grams of sugar, which is equivalent to eating 15 teaspoons of table sugar at once. For seniors whose metabolism has slowed and whose insulin sensitivity has decreased, this represents an enormous metabolic challenge. The sugar spike from eating a mango can cause inflammation throughout your body, particularly in your joints and muscles. It can also contribute to fluid retention, decreased circulation, and muscle weakness. Many seniors report feeling heavy, sluggish, and uncomfortable in their legs after eating mangoes, but they often attribute these symptoms to other factors rather than recognizing the connection to their fruit consumption. Now that we've identified the problematic fruits, let's discuss the healing alternatives that can actually strengthen your legs and improve your mobility. The key is choosing fruits that are lower in sugar, higher in fiber, and rich in anti-inflammatory compounds. Berries are your best choice. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries are all low in sugar, high in fiber, and packed with antioxidants that can actually reduce inflammation in your joints and muscles. They provide steady energy without causing dramatic blood sugar spikes, and their high fiber content helps slow the absorption of their natural sugars. Cherries, particularly tart cherries, are another excellent choice. They contain natural compounds that can help reduce uric acid levels in your body, potentially alleviating joint pain and stiffness. However, portion control is important. A small handful is sufficient. Avocados, while technically a fruit, are incredibly beneficial for joint health. They're rich in healthy fats that can help reduce inflammation throughout your body, and they're very low in sugar. The healthy fats in avocados can also help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins that are important for bone and muscle health. Papaya is another gentle option for seniors. It contains enzymes that can help reduce inflammation and aid digestion, while being relatively low in sugar compared to the problematic fruits we've discussed. If you've made it this far in this video, it tells me something important about you. You care about your health, your mobility, and your future. You're willing to learn uncomfortable truths and make difficult changes to improve your quality of life. That mindset is exactly what will help you maintain your independence and vitality as you age. The truth is, aging doesn't have to mean accepting weakness, pain, and decreased mobility as inevitable. By making informed choices about the foods you eat, you can significantly impact how you feel and how well you move. The fruits we've discussed today aren't inherently evil, but they may no longer be the best choices for your aging body. Remember, every small change you make adds up over time. Every time you choose berries over bananas or cherries over grapes, you're making a choice that supports your leg strength, joint health, and overall mobility. You're choosing independence over dependence, vitality over resignation. Your legs carry you through life. They deserve your care, attention, and respect. By avoiding the problematic fruits we've discussed and embracing the healing alternatives, you're giving your legs the support they need to carry you strong and steady for many years to come. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which fruit on this list surprised you the most? Are you ready to make changes to support your leg health? Type 1 if this information was valuable to you, or 0 if you disagree. Your engagement helps me know that this message is reaching the people who need it most. If this video opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered before, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from this information. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any health information that could change your life. Remember, your health is your wealth and your mobility is your freedom. Guard both carefully and never stop learning about how to take better care of yourself. Stay strong, stay informed, and keep moving forward with confidence.